Hey all, OpenAI just launched the Agent Builder. It allows you to build conversational chat agents with a drag and drop interface. I've explored the tool and wanted to show you how you can easily integrate with Baserow using a demo. This is how the interface looks like. You have a starting point, and from there you can create nodes, and a node could be a conversational agent that you can configure to solve a specific task. What I want to show in this demo is how you could build an event system where you can have a list of master classes and you can let the user book a master class using the conversational agent. So in this case, I've already created a Baserow database. It has a table master classes. It's very simple, just for the sake of the demo. It has like a name, when the event starts, and a long description about the master class itself. I've also created a subscriptions table where we can collect the email address, the name, and the masterclass that someone wants to sign up for. This is basically what the conversational agent is going to do. It's going to guide the user in the process of adding a row in this table, which counts as subscription. What I wanted to do first is add a guardrail. This is just to make sure that there's not going to be any prompt injection by protecting from a jailbreak. So I'm going to create a node. I'm going to attach these two to each other. If it fails, I just want it to end. If it passes, then I want to start first with an agent that's going to classify the user's intent. I've already constructed a small prompt here that's going to figure out whether the user wants to subscribe to a masterclass or wants to get some more information. In the output here, I want to only figure out whether a user wants to subscribe or wants to get information. So I'm going to create an enum here. And in that enum, I'm going to say it could either be subscribe or it could be get information. I'm going to call this classification and add a description, um, classified intent of the user. So from here, I wanted to add an if-else statement, connect these with each other, and add a couple of conditions here. So what I want to do first is have a condition if the user's intent is to actually subscribe. And the other condition that I want to add is whether the user wants to get information. If we can't classify the user's intent, also here, we can just end the conversation right there. So if the user wants to subscribe, I've also created a small prompt here. We're going to create like a new agent. Let's remove this one, create a new agent here. Okay, so this doesn't work exactly, but I'm just going to reconnect these. We're going to call this one subscribe. Add the instructions here. So what I've described in the prompt is I'm telling it that it's like a helpful assistant on booking one of the master classes. It needs to collect the full name of the user, the email address, and the master class that it wants to book. If it doesn't have the master class, it should actually fetch it from the table. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a new tool, which is an MCP server. And as you can see here, you can connect a custom MCP server. Baserow has an MCP server built into the product. If I move back to Baserow, I'm going to go to my settings, MCP servers, create a new one that I'm going to call demo, put it in the agent builder demo workspace, um, and copy the full URL here. There's no need to provide any authentication because the URL already contains the secret. I will just call this one booking, put the URL here. There's no need to do authentication, and then we're going to connect with it. Right now, it will fetch all the available tools. And what we need it to be able to do is I'm just going to disable them. It needs to be able to list rows because it needs to be able to get all the master classes. And this is the table, the one that ends with 28. It's one that we have here. That's the one where we want to allow it to create a row if a user creates a new subscription. And the table that ends with 28 is also the one that I've put in the description here. What we also want to do is create a new node here, a new agent, and this is the information agent. I've also prepared a small prompt here. This is just a very simple agent that just gives some additional information about the masterclass. And what I wanted to do is ask the user whether or not it wants to subscribe to one of the masterclasses afterwards. Also here, we need to enable the MCP server. So I need to get the same URL again, copy it to my clipboard, put it in here. Just gonna call this one information, connect to it. And this one only needs to be able to list rows from the master classes table. So what I've done in the prompt here is given it some instructions to fetch the master classes from the table that ends with 27, which is this one, so that it can use that to inform the user about their decision. After that, what I want to do in this case is I want to ask the user whether or not they want to actually book the masterclass or subscribe to it. So I'm going to add like a user approval here. Does it get approval? Then it goes to the subscribe agent. Does it not have the approval? Then it can immediately end because then there's no purpose anymore. Also, after this one, we can just end the conversation. So we have a relatively simple flow here. Let's just try it out. If I hit the preview button, I can actually try out this flow. And maybe I'm just gonna tell it, hello, I would like to book a masterclass. So here it's actually asking me to execute that list rows tool. In this case, I'm going to approve it, but afterwards I'm going to make a small change here so that it doesn't ask for permission every time. I just wanted to execute it so that things move faster. So now it's actually asking me, what is your full name? What is your email address? And which masterclass would you sign up for? I would like to sign up for the developer masterclass. My name is Bram. My email is bram@baserow.io. And when I ask this new question, it's kind of like going to start from the beginning again, but it saves the whole chat history. So it immediately knows what the original intent was, where it needs to go. So what we can see here is the output text is classification subscribe. Um, has the subscription been created? No, it has not been. So for some reason, it didn't recognize the intent here. Let me close the preview and see where this could have gone wrong. Um, so it has the full name, it has the email address, it has the tool, so it has access, so it should be able to create a row in this table. I've provided the table ID here, but for some reason it has not created it. Let me try this again. Hello, I would like to book the developer master class. My name is Bram, and email is bram@baserow.io. So it needs to figure out what is the row ID of the developer masterclass, and it needs to list the rows in this table too in order to do that. And now it's actually asking me to create a row. So now it has actually understood the intent of the user. And let's see what the result of this tool call is going to be. You're all set. Okay, so now we can see that the actual subscription has been added to the table automatically. What I want to do now is make a small change here. You can go to the tool. I can say I do not want to require approval. That speeds things up a little bit. Same for the information agent. This is one of the flows that I also want to test to see if it works. Which master classes do you have available? Okay, so this is actually the guardrail triggering when things were out of scope. Let me try this again with the um, hello. I would like to have some information. And this is obviously something you can tweak in the tool. For now, we can see that the if-else statement is correctly routing to the information agent. From there, it will figure out, okay, hey, I need to fetch the master classes before I can actually give it some more information. So what I can see here, hey, this is the UX design masterclasses for beginners. Do you wish to continue? Would you like specific information I can provide? Do you wish to continue? Okay, so the continue process should probably say something like, hey, do you want to actually book the masterclass? So in this case, I'm going to say approve. Imagine that's right here. I'm sure that can be tweaked, the output of that approval. And now it's going to the subscribe agent, and it should ask me again, like, hey, what is your name? Which masterclass do you want to book? What is your email address? I would like to book the UX design masterclass. My name is Bram. Email is bram@baserow.ai. Or maybe put a different name here. I'm just going to put test@baserow.io just to make sure that there's not going to be a conflict in the email address. Immediately routes to the subscribe agent. Perfect. So now it has actually booked the masterclass, and we can see the test is here as well. There's a lot more things that you can actually do with the agent builder. This is just a quick demo to show you how you can integrate with Baserow. I will hope it's super useful for you.